Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Usman versus Maia in Chile for the very first time. The UFC has been down to the great country of South America, Chile. And yeah, so it's a post-fight rundown of the main card. This was a great card, top to bottom, and the prelims are amazing too. So, just do a quick rundown, main card, with see how well I did. So I did pretty well on this. I went 10-3 on the overall card, 4-2 on the main card. Yeah, so the main event, yeah, I'll just cover the main card on the show. Yeah, the main event was Kamaru Usman, number 7 ranked, versus Damian Maia, number 5 ranked, in the UFC welterweight division. And boy, this main event I was spot on exactly how I thought this fight was gonna go. If you watched my pre-fight show, I was like, well, probably stay standing, and then Usman throw some jabs and rock Maia, and Maia's gonna, basically get worn out and have these really failed takedown attempts. And sure enough, yeah, it's like Kamaru Usman pretty much defended the takedowns pretty well, and then landed some jabs, and then just, it just went from there each and every round, and he was outpointing him each and every round, outstriking him. So Kamaru Usman gets unanimous decision victory, much deservingly in this fight. He definitely is in that top 5 as far as I'm concerned now. Then in the women's strawweight division, we had Tatiana Suarez, Ultimate Fighter winner, going up against Alexa Grasso, who is an Invicta legend to the diehard fans such as myself. And yeah, Tatiana Suarez won submission, round 1, rear naked choke, and it was impressive. I knew Suarez wrestling would be the difference maker in this matchup. Suarez, Olympic caliber wrestler. Alexa Grasso, decent jiu-jitsu skills, respectable stand-up of course, but I just knew the wrestling would be the game changer here, and I thought she would just out-wrestle her for all the rounds. I didn't think it would be a quick submission, but even more impressive for Suarez. Then in the light heavyweight division, Dominic Reyes knocked out Jared Cannonier in the first round. And yeah, this one I called first round knockout on my fantasy and my pre-fight show for Dominic Reyes, and I was spot on. It was about where I thought it was going to be too. Congrats to Dominic Reyes and his training camp, and Joe Stevenson and Jonathan Noriega, because I know he was watching this. He mentioned on Facebook he was watching this. So congrats to all you guys. You guys helped him train hard, and it paid off, and Dominic Reyes looked great in his fight. And yeah, it was a TKO punch, round 1, 2 minutes 55 seconds. And there were some heavy shots landed by Jared, which I pretty much knew that would be the case, but I knew that Reyes would be quick enough to, if he got rocked, he would get out of trouble and then find his range and land the heavy shots needed to get the knockout. And that's exactly what happened. Dominic Reyes looked great in this fight. And Dominic Reyes deserves, as far as I'm concerned, a top 15 ranked light heavyweight. And then we have, in the bantamweight division, Guido Canetti versus Diego Rivas. This one shocked me. I was just like, no way. I mean, Guido Canetti's in his late 30s, and Diego Rivas is the home country hero. I thought, for sure Diego Rivas would, do something and win by decision, and, just maybe the cardio and the athletic ability overall would be too much for Guido. And, Diego Rivas, he's an Ultimate Fighter veteran, so is Guido, and they were on the same team on the Ultimate Fighter, but I just thought that Diego was the one who had more potential going into the UFC from that season, which they're both on Team for Doom, by the way. And yeah, so Diego Rivas, yeah, he won round 3. I think we can all agree with that. Then Guido Canetti won the first 2 rounds. He got some dominant positions uh, in the ground game. And so, yeah, I think the judges got this right. Because round 3, it's like Diego Rivas outlanded, was starting to find his rhythm and land some good shots on Guido. But anyhow, it was a fun fight still. Then in the women's flyweight division, we had Andrea KGB Lee versus Veronica Macedo. And yeah, I was so excited for this fight because I've watched Andrea Lee for the last couple of years on LFA and Invicta FC, and to see her make her finally her UFC debut after all this time. I believe she was going to be on the Ultimate Fighter at one point, but then she said no, and then yeah, she's in the UFC making her big debut, and she looked impressive. I mean, her judo throws really looked good, and her jiu-jitsu offense and defense looked great. She won 30-27. I think the judges got this one right. Very impressive. I was really impressed with the ground game. Also the striking. I mean, she's known for kickboxing. But yeah, I can't wait to see more of Andrea Lee. She's always fun to watch. You know, if her fights go to decision, it's still fun. If she gets a big finish, it's fun. So it's a win-win with pretty much all of her fights. Yeah, and then to kick off the main card in the welterweight division, we had Vicente Luque versus Chad Laprise. This one didn't shock me too much. I mean, I had Vicente Luque. If he won, it would be by knockout because he is known for his heavy boxing hands. Yeah, Vicente Luque, though, I picked Chad Laprise, as some of you may know, on my pre-fight show and on my fantasy by decision because I thought Chad Laprise, tri-star guy, is going to be able to deal with whatever Vicente Luque throws. However, Vicente Luque was able to throw those shots and land them. And yeah, it was KO punches round 1 victory, 4 minutes, 16 seconds into the first round. And it just sort of came out of nowhere. But, you know, Chad Laprise, I think he's overall better off in the welterweight division still. And I think he'll rebound with some wins. And Vicente Luque definitely is a possible star in the making after a big win like this, knocking out in the first round an Ultimate Fighter winner. So having that on your resume is huge. Yeah, Vicente Luque, yeah, again, I had him as, you know, the underdog in this one in my mind. And yeah, wow, he looked pretty amazing. Well, you know, Chad Laprise landed some good shots still. He went out on his shield. He tried to win this fight. But yeah, Vicente Luque wins by first round knockout. So there you have it. There is my post-fight show for Maia versus Usman. Stay tuned in the coming days for my pre-fight for Thompson versus Till, which will be in England, and should be exciting because Darren Till's a top prospect, and then Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is #1 ranked in the UFC welterweight division. So there you have it, and until then, see ya. Oh, and again, congrats to Dominic Reyes and his team, and good job, Joe Stevenson, on training him, and Jonathan Noriega, however much you helped him in the training camp. I know you're all proud of him, and good job, okay?